Hi, I'm Siri and I do something with media. In 2019, I booked a table for a convention that was set to happen in 2020. Due to the pandemic, the convention was cancelled for 2020 and 2021, but I kept my table slot booked. I knew I would sooner or later attend Artist Alley. Due to a variety of reasons, I ended up having no illustrations to send off to the print shop. Even if I had drawings I wanted to be printed, I missed the deadline. So a week before the convention, I knew I had to figure out an alternative way to make at least the money I spent on the table back. This situation forced me to really think about what I am selling and how to sell it. I decided to go for the less is more strategy and offer traditional frame paintings I've done over the past 3 years and on-the-spot commissions. The latter is what I want to talk about in this video. So here are 5 tips on what to consider when offering commissions at a convention. 1. Have your material ready. This sounds like an obvious thing, but whether you draw digitally or traditionally at the convention, you want to make sure you have all your materials ready, prepared and organized. I had a vast variety of tools with me, which meant I had a lot of stuff that could get lost. For example, on Saturday, I could not for the life of me find my pencil. So I ended up sketching everything with watercolor pencils, which is a new level of fear I did not need in my life. I had a pencil, eraser, sharpener, watercolor pencils, a portable watercolor palette, and watercolor pens and fine liners with me. This is a lot to keep track of, and maybe I should have limited the tools, but in the end, I did need all of them. Due to my chaotic nature and not putting much thought into organizing the tools, the table looked at times quite chaotic, which is not a good look when you want to attract customers. You want to make sure customers quickly understand what your table is about and what you offer. Having it cluttered with art tools is most likely going to make it look disorganized and unappealing. Therefore, think about where you put your tools on your table. PS. Also make sure you have a dedicated trash box that is not visible to your customers. A pile of trash, such as packaging, etc., looks unappealing and unsanitary. 2. Know your prices. The question to haunt many artists often remains where to price their art. There is no fixed price number to anything, but if you don't feel comfortable charging a lot for your art, you should at the very least charge the minimum wage of your country. Or, if minimum wage is not a thing in your country, charge what is considered to be the hypothetical minimum wage. However, I highly encourage you to charge more per hour than the minimum wage. As an artist, you always have taxes and additional costs to consider. Hi, it's Siri in the editing phase of the audio, and I wanted to say it may be way better to price your art based on the living wage of your country, not the minimum wage. A minimum wage does not always imply a living wage that you can comfortably live off. That said, commissions aren't always charged by the hour, and at a convention, people prefer concrete prices so they know upfront how much they will have to pay. My focus was drawing chibi characters in bubble tea with fine liners and watercolors. I then framed the original drawing for the customer to take home. This way the drawing would not get dirty or damaged. On average, these drawings take me 30 to 45 minutes. In case something goes wrong or anything happens, I've added in additional time, which rounded the time up to an hour. So, how much do I want to charge at a convention for 1 hour of my time spent on a drawing? You calculate your price by taking the time you anticipate to need for the commission times your hourly wage. In addition, I considered how much I myself would be willing to spend on a character in bubble tea on a postcard-sized drawing. This can be rough to decide, but I figured since this is the first time I'm doing this, I personally would want to spend 15 euros per image. This is above the minimum wage of my country, but way below my usual hourly wage. It is, however, a number I felt comfortable with. Please keep in mind your target audience at the convention. Who do you want to sell to? Custom art is a luxury, but also people do not have infinite money to spend at conventions. You may also want to think about how many commissions in total you want to do per day. Every commission you do means that you won't be able to get up and move around or take a break. Limiting your daily slots is necessary to guarantee a healthy work convention balance. If you know that you cannot do more than 3 hours of daily art, avoid offering more than 3 commissions. Pace yourself. In conclusion, with all these factors considered, even if I only sold 2 cheap commissions, I would already have a considerable amount of my table costs back. 3. Limit what you offer. In the world of art, you often hear about people getting paid the most money when they are specialized in a very specific thing. Unfortunately, I am not people. I kind of do something with everything, and that works out fairly well. I struggle to narrow down my specialization, and it takes me a long time to decide on what I want to center my art and work around, as I kind of enjoy doing a lot of things at once. But for a potential customer, it is easier to decide from a limited menu, especially at a crowded event. Therefore, it is reasonable to keep your offer simple. In my case, offering to choose between a regular drink and a bubble tea drawing and 2 different sizes is simple and still gives the customer a lot of agency in their request. Aside from the chibi drink commissions, I did offer regular sketches, lines and color drawings, but I did price them intentionally in a way that most people would feel as if they've gained more out of a chibi drink commission than a regular colored commission. 4. Consider a stage element. I want to dig into this bubble tea situation a bit. The bubble tea is not just there because I like bubble tea. Granted, that might be the major reason why I chose it to be in the image. However, the bubble tea or drink serve a function, and that is the function of a stage element. Adding a stage element to your drawing gives the character you draw an item or setting to interact with, and it ultimately makes your art more interesting. Drawing characters you may not have a strong bond with yourself or don't know at all can be challenging, especially if you want to capture the essence of the character. Talk to the customer about the character and what they like about them. Read some fan wiki articles if you have Wi-Fi and figure out their personality. Then use your stage element. In this case, it would be the bubble tea. Use it to your advantage and let the character interact with this tiny drink prison of your own making. Whatever your stage element may be, a drink, a flower, a table, or a phone, these elements make it easier to draw a similar motif over and over and over again, and are more likely to spark inspiration within you while you work in an environment that may be very different to your ideal workplace. A convention is noisy, at times smelly, and can be overwhelming. So it's important you can draw and keep a decent minimum standard quality in your work while surrounded by all types of distractions. If you accept commissions, make sure you have an assistant or a person to share your table with who can do business while you are focusing on your art. The stage element should always make your life easier and not more complicated. Simple shapes, easy to replicate, good to interact with. That's what you should aim for when introducing a fixed stage element to your commission offerings. It's great if you manage to draw a complex setting, but can you replicate it over and over again with ease? Keep this in mind when you decide on your stage element for your drawing. 5. Stay organized in your paperwork. Okay, so this is the part where I have to say, while I'm absolutely humbled and happy about the success and great reception of my work at the convention, I did mess up big time. I had 2 lovely clients who requested multiple pieces of art from me. but I forgot to draw one of the art pieces. I had a list of to-dos, but this list was organized poorly, and therefore this last commission slipped through the cracks on Sunday, which was the last day of the convention. Luckily, we have come to an arrangement and I have sent their final commission to them via mail. But my big takeaway from this blunder is to have a proper system of notes and keep track of commissions and jobs in a more organized fashion. Don't be like me, organize your notes and make sure to keep track of everything. This includes your inventory, your sales, your packaging, and your list of commissions. Thank you for watching this video. If you've done Artist LA yourself, what are your important takeaways and hot tips? And what character would you perma-trap in bubble tea? Let me know, and see you soon!